up, y'all? It's your boy AJ, and this is AJ Reacts 2. And welcome back to the SIZZLIN Summer Movie Reviews. Today we are going to be talking about Annabelle Comes Home. And just let me say, it was sure enough creepy. Okay, we're gonna start off where we always do, with the story. The story in this film, it wasn't the worst I ever seen. It's definitely better than some of the Conjuring movies that I've seen, but I did have a few issues with it. And I'm gonna talk about the issues and then I'll talk about the things that I like about it. The story, I feel like it just kind of like had a few things missing. Some character details. I didn't really connect with the characters the way I felt like I should. I did connect with them, but not the way that I felt like I should. Ed and Lorraine, they were in it at the beginning and like at the very end. I don't know, like that was kind of a tease for me, but I think they're definitely gonna come out with The Conjuring 3, so they're kind of like, hey, Ed and Lorraine, they're still around, they're still here, you know. So you know, kind of like a hint at that. Not really. It was kind of a spinoff. It was a spinoff, but it just, they wanted to make sure they incorporate Ed and Lorraine. Anyway, moving on. Ed and Lorraine were featured very little in the film, and I enjoyed what they showed of them. I always like those characters when they show up in the movies. The film was about Ed and Lorraine's daughter, and then her babysitter's friend comes into the mix and messes everything up, goes into the room full of all of the haunted items and things like that. And I'm just like, how dumb can you be? Like, you hear of weird stuff happening, I mean, you don't really know, but why would you try to go in there? Why would you even want to? It has like 3-4 locks on it. Why would you try to go in there? Like, that's just like, I don't know. That's just dumb to me. But anyway, she goes into the room. The babysitter's friend goes into the room, touches everything, and releases Annabelle out of the cage or whatever she was in, the glass cage she was in. And she did it for a purpose, but at the end of the day, like, why are you doing this? Like, you have to heal from your father's death a different way. You can't like just, you know, mess with everything. But moving on to the things that I did like. I did kind of like how they incorporated the babysitter's friend's life into the story. Like, she was trying to talk to her dad, and because he passed away, but she's trying to talk to him, kind of trying to conjure his spirit so she could talk to him. But, you know, she released the evil spirit, and it wasn't what she was expecting, to say the least. Judy Warren, Ed and Lorraine's daughter, she kind of had, you know, some knowledge about the things that were going on because, you know, who her parents were. And it kind of seemed a little forced the way she knew those things, because she's a kid. She was a little kid, but she was kind of explaining the things like she really knew. And they really had her explaining to the audience what these entities were and, you know, how they affect people, how it affects everybody. And I feel like at that age, she wouldn't have known all that. So that's a little bit of an issue with the story that I had. I wish they kind of would have made it a little bit more realistic. She knew bits and pieces of what, you know, what was going on like a kid would, but not knowing the whole thing, you know, but finding it out over the course of the film. Like I said, I feel like we couldn't really connect with the characters as much as I would like to. The babysitter was kind of the main character of the story. We had like 3 or 4 main characters. The babysitter was like kind of the focus, but we really didn't know anything about her life. And I just think that we should get more detail about who she is and things like that, so we could connect with that character. Like, that's my thing. I don't know if y'all know, but that's my thing. We got to be able to connect with that character so we can feel for them, so we can feel their emotions, their psyche, you know, what's inside their mind. But as far as the character goes, she wasn't bad. Like I said, I just wish we got more detail. Like we got more detail with the best friend than we did with the main character, you know? So they just need to, you know, even out the playing field, you know, make sure we get enough detail with everyone. McKenna Grace stole the show. If you don't know who McKenna Grace is, she is a young actress. She plays Ed and Lorraine's daughter, Judy Warren. And she just did a great job, as she always does. My favorite McKenna Grace film is called Gifted. And that movie, it moved me. Like, it was so good. Her acting, and, you know, just you could feel her passion. So I know that she's good. She was also in Captain Marvel. You know, she was in I, Tonya. She was in the popular show Designated Survivor. Featured in Fuller House. Like, just, she's a really great actress. I can't wait to see her grow up and to see how she matures in acting, and because she is really good. She's like, seems like a prodigy to me. So I'm excited to see more work from her. I feel like she kind of stole the show. The rest of the actors, I didn't think they did a bad job. I just think it was not up to par with McKenna Grace. It's sad to say, you know, I feel like in a film, you kind of got to have an even playing field with all of the actors. All of the actors kind of got to be on the same field, or somebody's going to outshine the other. And I feel like that's what happened here. Cinematography, it was just on par with the same, you know, same Conjuring feel, the same, you know, The Nun, all those. It kind of fit in with that. The story is what took it to the next level. Like, it had all these entities. It didn't have just one. I think every other film that they had, you know, dealt with one entity, and this dealt with multiple. So that was a game changer. This movie wasn't scary to me. The thing about the Conjuring films is they don't really get me scared. Like, probably the scariest one to me was Conjuring 2 with the nun in it. But I watched The Nun with no problem. That didn't bother me. But Conjuring 2 kind of freaked me out a little bit. I think it's just because nothing really happens in those movies. They just kind of get haunted and then figure out how to not be haunted anymore. And that's it. Nothing happens to the characters. They don't really get hurt or injured. They don't die. Everybody's still alive at the end of the film. I don't know if they're ever going to change that. And there were a lot of parts in the film where I was like, if they had Annabelle come from those shadows, I would have freaked out. You know, I had a lot of moments like I could have made it scary doing that. And you don't really want your audience thinking like that, because you want to do that to the audience. That's what you want to make them feel. You know, if that's the point of the film, is to be a scary movie, you want to scare the audience. You know, you want to make sure every single thing is, you know, jumping out at you, or hiding in the shadows, or you see eyes in the back, or you see, you know, something glowing or something like that. You want to make sure your audience is scared. You want to surprise them. You want to shock them. I feel like the shock factor wasn't that high. And in this movie, they kind of had a responsibility to do that because they had so much to work with. And I just want to say, the werewolf, it was so bad. Like, that was the only thing that's really the only entity thing that I didn't like in this film. It was bad. The CGI, it just wasn't scary. I don't get scared of werewolves anyway. Like, that doesn't bother me. So that, on top of how bad the CGI looked, and like, you didn't really get to see it the whole time, but there was a scene where they kind of showed the whole thing, and it just So overall, this film is going to get a 7 out of 10 from me. I think it was really fun to watch. It wasn't scary, but, you know, McKenna Grace did a great job. We saw, you know, we got a little bit of jump scares. We got a little bit of, you know, this and that. And they changed the game when they mess with different entities. They had more than one. Maybe it was a little bit of their downfall too, because it might have been a little too much. They could have done without the werewolf. That's my personal idea. That's my personal thought. If you thought any different, head down to the comments. Let me know What did you love about this film? What did you hate about this film? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Follow me on social media, AJ Reacts 2. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Hit me up. Follow me on those platforms. Make sure you drop a like and you drop a subscribe. Be a part of the AJ Reacts 2 family. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.